Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we are focusing on three simple powerhouse ingredients: sweet potato, quinoa, and smoked paprika. And when you put them together, it looks like a really comforting bowl of food, but what our sources reveal is, well, it's actually an incredibly sophisticated piece of nutritional engineering. This isn't just about a recipe, it's about leveraging food science for, maximum benefit.
That's exactly right. We are moving well beyond just good for you and diving deep into the functional biology here.
Okay.
The sources describe this combination not just as nourishing, but as a system designed for
A
resilience.
system, I like that.
Yeah, and our mission today is to really unpack the specific biological why behind this trio. We're focusing on how these ingredients don't just, coexist on a plate. They actively elevate each other's nutrient uptake through something we call catalytic synergy.
Catalytic synergy. I love that framing. So we're not just looking at three ingredients performing separately.
No.
We're looking for that moment when A plus B plus C equals D, and D is exponentially better.
Exactly. We want to know how this simple stack delivers that steady, long-lasting energy, how it supports gut health, and deeply nourishes the body, checking every single box for holistic wellness.
It sounds like the perfect template for a meal that's designed for function.
It is. We need to find the nutrient matrix that makes these, really common foods exceptional when you pair them.
Okay, let's unpack this then, starting with the foundation, the sweet potato. And we are specifically looking at those really deeply pigmented orange varieties. When you see that color, you are essentially looking at a concentrated source of one major compound.
Absolutely. That intense orange color is, it's pure beta-carotene,
Mm,
which is a powerful carotenoid and a precursor to vitamin A.
right.
So in a deep dive context, we need to focus on what vitamin A is actually doing for us. It's supporting the integrity of epithelial tissues.
Meaning your skin
Okay.
and the linings of your gut.
Your skin, your digestive tract, your respiratory tract.
Exactly.
It's a foundational nutrient for cellular protection and also for vision, which is why you always hear about it in immunity discussions.
And the sweet potato is often championed for its complex carbs, but the sources also put a huge emphasis on its fiber content for digestion and that steady energy release.
The fiber profile here is absolutely key. Sweet potatoes contain a high amount of soluble fiber,
Okay.
and this isn't just roughage. When soluble fiber hits your stomach, it absorbs water and it forms this kind of gel-like substance.
Mm.
And that mechanism slows down gastric emptying. Now, why does that matter? It matters because it means the glucose is released into the bloodstream slowly and consistently, which stabilizes your blood sugar and completely eliminates those sharp energy peaks and the crashes that follow.
So it provides the fuel, but the fiber acts like a speed governor, making sure that fuel actually lasts. That's a critical difference from just a simple starch.
That's the perfect analogy.
Now, I was intrigued by the source's specific mention of vitamin C and E in the sweet potato. They're often mentioned together. What makes that specific pairing so important for anti-inflammation?
This is where we get into some advanced nutrient functionality. This is far more sophisticated than just calling them a calming crew. Vitamin E is a primary fat-soluble antioxidant. It's responsible for protecting the delicate lipid structures, the membranes of our cells, from damage.
Okay, so it's a protector.
But vitamin E becomes oxidized, or you could say spent, after it neutralizes a free radical.
It sacrifices itself.
Exactly. And that is where vitamin C steps in. Vitamin C is water-soluble, and it has the crucial role of regenerating that spent, oxidized vitamin E. It allows the vitamin E molecule to cycle back and continue its protective job in the cell membranes.
Wow. So they work as a team.
A team. When you eat them together, they offer a far more robust synergistic defense against inflammation and cellular aging than either one could on its own.
So if you view the plate as a healing composition, the sweet potato is this powerful, low-glycemic, anti-inflammatory, and membrane-protecting foundation.
Precisely. It sets the stage for stability.
Okay, so having established that robust anti-inflammatory carbohydrate base, we now need a complementary source to slow that energy release even further and deliver structural building blocks. Which brings us to the complete protein of quinoa. And here's where it gets really interesting. We have to talk about how quinoa provides muscle support and hormone regulation.
This is critical, especially in the plant-based world. Quinoa is one of the rare, complete plant proteins.
Meaning it has all 9 essential amino acids.
All 9. The fundamental building blocks our body must get through diet. Functionally, this delivers sustained satiety and supports crucial processes like muscle protein synthesis and the steady production of hormones and enzymes. It provides the ballast the meal needs.
And just like the sweet potato, quinoa has a significant fiber component, but it complements the potato's profile differently, doesn't it?
It does, because quinoa provides a more balanced mix of both soluble and insoluble fiber. We already talked about soluble fiber's role in, viscosity and blood sugar control. The insoluble fiber in quinoa provides the necessary bulk, which physically accelerates waste transit time in the gut. So the dual fiber sources mean you're optimizing both the speed and the quality of digestion.
But the sources also highlight quinoa as being remarkably mineral dense. It's not just protein and fiber, it's an absolute micronutrient jackpot, specifically calling out magnesium, iron, copper, and manganese.
It's incredibly nutrient-packed, yeah.
Here.
But let's focus on the iron for a moment, because it feeds directly into our synergy loop later on.
Okay.
Quinoa provides a significant amount of non-heme iron, which is the type you find in plants. Now, while it's essential for oxygen circulation and fighting fatigue, non-heme iron is notoriously difficult for the body to absorb efficiently. Absorption rates can be very low on their own.
So we have this excellent source of iron, but there's a biological bottleneck in uptake if you just eat it in isolation.
Exactly. That iron supports critical metabolic functions. Magnesium is necessary for hundreds of enzyme reactions. But the bioavailability of that non-heme iron has to be optimized. And we'll see exactly how our third ingredient helps smash that bottleneck. Plus, for those seeking nutrient-dense grains, quinoa is naturally gluten-free. It eliminates a really common source of digestive irritation for a lot of people.
So we have the slow-burning anti-inflammatory foundation and the complete mineral-rich structural component. Now let's turn our attention to the secret weapon, the ingredient that provides both flavor and the chemical catalyst, smoked paprika.
This is so much more than a seasoning. It's a spice-based micronutrient delivery system. The smoking process concentrates certain flavor compounds, but it also preserves a really robust spectrum of phytochemicals.
And phytochemicals, for the listener, are those non-nutrient plant compounds that offer distinct protective health benefits.
That's it. And in the paprika, which ones are we talking about?
Yeah, what are they?
We're talking about capsaicinoids, which provide that gentle heat, and a host of carotenoids like capsanthin, which are potent antioxidants. And that's alongside vitamins A and E. So these components help shield cells from the daily oxidative stress that leads to chronic aging and illness. You're getting an antioxidant stack on top of the sweet potato's base.
I love the description of paprika as a natural circulation booster. If we compare this to, say, cayenne or chili powder, what is it about paprika's gentle heat that gives it this circulatory benefit without being overwhelming?
Well, the level of capsaicinoids in sweet and smoked paprika is just much lower. It provides a mild systemic thermal effect.
So not a shock to the system.
Not at all. This gentle stimulation is enough to encourage vasodilation, the widening of blood vessels, which supports robust blood flow and cardiovascular health without inducing that painful, intense reaction you get from high heat peppers. It's functional warmth.
And crucially, we need to circle back to the role paprika plays in our synergy matrix. We've established that sweet potatoes have vitamin C, but paprika doubles down on this critical nutrient.
And that's the key technical insight we needed. The presence of vitamin C in the paprika, which so many people overlook when thinking of spices, is what truly elevates the dish.
Okay.
When you combine this vitamin C with the non-heme iron we just identified in the quinoa, the chemical reaction dramatically improves iron absorption. Vitamin C converts non-heme iron into a form that is far more easily utilized by the body. Paprika is the catalyst for iron uptake.
So the flavor profile is actually serving a chemical purpose. Smoked paprika isn't just the seasoning, it's the mineral absorption booster required to unlock the quinoa's full potential.
It's smart, deliberate nutritional pairing. And the paprika's own mild anti-inflammatory effects also nicely complement the protective nature of the sweet potato. You're creating this double-layered defense system.
So what does this all mean when we put them together? Let's discuss the synergy created by this triumvirate, especially focusing on those bioavailability loops we identified.
The synergy is the absolute masterstroke here, and it confirms the meal is designed for optimal nutrient extraction. We have two primary catalytic effects happening simultaneously. Let's break down the first one, the fat-soluble vitamin loop.
Right. Both the sweet potato with its beta-carotene, which becomes vitamin A, and vitamin E and the paprika, which also has A and E, contain these essential fat-soluble vitamins. The body cannot properly absorb these vitamins unless they are consumed with fat. The recipe itself calls for olive oil to roast the sweet potatoes and toast the paprika. This integrated fat source is not just for flavor, it is the essential delivery mechanism for the carotenoids and vitamins A and E. It ensures maximal bioavailability. Without that oil, you lose a significant amount of the nutritional value.
Wow, that turns a simple cooking step into a functional health requirement.
Mm.
The presence of fat ensures we can actually use the immune-supporting compounds we've just spent all this time analyzing. Precisely. And the second loop is the one we just set up with the quinoa, the mineral uptake catalyst. The vitamin C from both the sweet potato and the smoked paprika acts as the necessary agent to make the non-ham iron in the quinoa available for circulation and metabolism. This meal fights fatigue on two fronts, providing steady complex carbs and maximizing the uptake of essential iron.
This is a powerful summary. It's not just a nice recipe. It's a template for feeling great because the balance is literally engineered.
Absolutely. This deliberate design promotes four key overlapping results. You get steady, long-lasting energy thanks to that controlled glucose release. You get significantly improved digestion from the dual source, balanced fiber, maximum anti-inflammatory protection and resilience due to fat-soluble and water-soluble antioxidant cycling. And finally, true satisfaction, because it hits all the macronutrient needs with balanced protein, complex carbs, and healthy fats.
And we can connect this entire nutritional analysis back to a really practical application, proving that efficient, healthy food doesn't have to be complicated. The structure is simple, using everyday ingredients.
The beauty of this whole approach is its accessibility. You have two medium sweet potatoes providing the bulk and the anti-inflammatory action, 1 cup of quinoa delivering the protein matrix, and about 1 tablespoon of smoked paprika and olive oil facilitating the absorption.
And the preparation steps themselves reinforce the functional requirements we just talked about. You have to toss those sweet potato cubes in the olive oil and paprika before you roast them at 400 degrees. That oil bath is essential for extracting and utilizing the beta-carotene, and the paprika is already delivering its C and E to the system.
And this simplicity is why the dish aligns so well with a holistic, restorative approach. It uses common ingredients, ensures perfectly balanced nutrition, and importantly, it's gentle on your digestion. It is energizing and satisfying without being heavy.
For the busy listener, or anyone focusing on mental performance and productivity, how does this nutritional stability translate beyond the physical? We've seen the sources mention that this supports the mind-body connection by keeping you nourished, focused, and grounded.
Well, that connection is grounded in neurochemistry, not cliché. When you eliminate the massive glucose spikes and subsequent crashes, which is exactly what this dual fiber system is achieving, you eliminate the stress response those fluctuations cause.
Okay.
Stable blood sugar translates directly into stable mental energy and sustained cognitive focus. Furthermore, efficient iron uptake ensures your brain is receiving the necessary oxygen for optimal function. You aren't just physically nourished, you are setting yourself up for peak productivity without the distraction of digestive distress or energy fatigue.
That's the real takeaway here, using the principles of synergy to build a meal that actively supports your output and your mental clarity. It's the perfect candidate for high-performance meal prep.
It keeps you grounded because your biology is running smoothly and efficiently.
This deep dive has really confirmed that a simple, comforting bowl of food is actually an incredibly sophisticated piece of nutritional engineering. We've learned that the combination gives you complete protein, steady, balanced fiber from two different sources, and a serious wallop of potent antioxidants, all working in concert thanks to the catalytic effects of the spice and the oil.
The knowledge gained here is how to use food not just for fuel, but for function, by leveraging synergy to improve actual biological outcomes. But let's leave a listener with one final provocative concept to consider. Since we've established that consciously combining ingredients specifically for digestive ease and steady energy directly impacts mental clarity and productivity, how much cognitive friction, how much wasted mental energy are you currently incurring every single day simply because your meals aren't optimized for these complex bioavailability loops?
That's the challenge. How much more focused, productive, and calmer could you be if your fuel source wasn't fighting against your biology? We encourage you to try this specific synergy for yourself and feel the difference, not just in your physical energy, but in your mental focus. Until next time, stay curious.